if you look at that, China, first row, China.
Kenya seeks leverage on the tit-for-tat standoffs between Washington and Beijing, marked by fast-moving tariff policies. Experts argue that Trump's reciprocal tariffs, which imposed a 10% minimum baseline tariff on all imports, will push many African traders away and turn them east.
Business people, especially from Eastern Africa, they'll now try to find an option to export the goods because the trade must continue to go. So they'll trade more with China. They'll trade more with China because they'll find that trading with the United States is now very expensive for them.
Distinguished guests.
President Ruto last year also made a state visit to the U.S. at former President Joe Biden's invitation. The Kenyan president and other leaders might now have to tread carefully with the partnerships they make.
It should be pointed out in particular that China firmly opposes any party reaching a deal at the expense of China's interests. If this happens, China will never accept it and will resolutely take countermeasures in a reciprocal manner.
China commands a strong presence in Africa. It has become sub-Saharan Africa's largest trading partner, according to the International Monetary Fund, as well as the region's major credit provider. In 2015, trade between China and Africa stood at $179 billion and has risen to $295 billion in 2024, according to China's General Administration of Customs. And it's pushing for more.
China will help African countries train 6,000 military personnel and 1,000 police officers and law enforcement personnel. China will also continue to support the construction of Africa's standing army and rapid forces.
Africa is a key part of Beijing's Belt and Road Infrastructure, or BRI, projects. China has built Africa's longest suspension bridge in Mozambique, funded projects like Kenya's Nairobi to Mombasa standard gauge railway and the Abuja light rail in Nigeria. Most of the projects on the continent have been financed through Chinese public bank loans, funds that have led to deepening debt in some countries. While in Beijing, President Ruto also hopes to sign bilateral agreements on manufacturing, technology, climate change and agriculture. Kuria Kanja, TRT World.